going to do mostly pretty much the same stuff we did yesterday, just so maybe repetition helps you remember some of this when you get home in our puzzling. So we'll start with our little march in place first, just kind of warm things up. Get the biggest muscle group in the body, the quads. It's 4 muscles though, but this is where a lot of it comes from, going upstairs, walking in the quads, a good place to warm up. Little, as you're feeling good, pump the arms a little bit, get the body coordinated. The idea is opposite arm and leg going forward, left leg, right leg, left arm. Some folks have a little trouble with that at the beginning, especially when they're trying to, they maybe do it unconsciously when they're swinging their arms and walking, but then when you try to think about it, it's like, oh, which side? We'll just go 60 seconds here. All right, good. And then as we get warmed up, we can go a little bit more, but you know, it's morning, we're warming up, so we don't have to get crazy yet. 3, 2, 1. Okay, now we're going to walk, but we're going to swing the arms a little bit more. So we'll try to keep the palms facing inward, and we'll just walk. There we go. Yeah, we'll get to the straight leg to hit the hamstrings here in a little bit. Try to break up the shoulder stuff a little bit more, put some legs in between. My clients they're used to getting those shoulders burned, you know, but we don't need to do that yet. Good, a little bit more here, and go 3, 2, 1. Okay, we'll hit the low back. We did this like the hula hoop, hip rotations. So we'll just go one direction for about 20 seconds or so, and it doesn't have to be real hard if you're feeling it a little bit in the low back. And then we'll go the other direction. There's my partner in crime. Good morning, Val.
Good morning.
All right, and 2, 1. Okay, other direction. Here we go. Even though we're doing the same thing, it just hits the muscles a different way. That's what we try to do a lot. Like, there's a lot of different versions of hitting the same muscle group. There's like 10 different types of bicep curls, but they all hit it a little bit different, so it really helps in growing. Instead of just doing here, you can do like hammer presses. You can do where you have a tube, and you can do what they call atlas curls. You can do concentration curls. You can lean over a bench and do preacher's curls. So, okay, let's go figure 8 for 20 seconds. So just really move it in a different direction, different way. Yeah. Just a little bit more here. We'll get another shoulder thing. 2, 1. There you go. So now we're going to warm up the shoulders just a little bit different. We're just going to do like scissors, and we'll just rotate on cross or alternate on which arm comes over the top. Oh, can you find a spot there? Okay. It will make room here. All right. Good. And we're just breathing. Remember to breathe. We can always keep those abs a little firm. That's good. Good way to kind of make sure we contract the abs is think about pulling your lower rib cage in. And that's a good way that it tightens up your stomach because the abs attach to the bottom of the rib cage. So when you're pulling them in like the ribs in, that forces you to tighten the abs. Good job there. Okay. Now we're going to do torso twists. So we're going to go back to, this is more rotational. So it's a little different than the hula hoop move we were doing. It's going to hit the low back as a little more. Here, keep breathing. And if those shoulders are, a little sore or even just tired, you can go a little lower. That's fine. There you go. Yeah, arms can be up. Sometimes they do them with the elbows bent and up. Whatever feels good. And let's do 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Okay. Scapular retraction. So I talked about the shoulder blades a lot yesterday. So this is pinching them together, squeeze for a couple of seconds and let go. The cueing is kind of like, think if you can pinch a pencil between your shoulder blades and just hold it, but just for a few seconds and then let go. That also not only strengthens the back, does a great job of opening up the chest too, which is really important, because I had mentioned yesterday that, you know, when we're leaning over a puzzle or if we're on the keyboard or holding our phone, we're crunched forward, the shoulders are caved in, the chest gets tight, the back gets loose. So this way we're kind of counter programming against that posture, that bad slumped over posture. Opening it up, we'll pinch a couple more here. Good, and last one. Okay, now we're gonna go, we'll do a couple of our arm circles. So palms facing down to start. The neutral position, we'll just do small circles. We'll go for 10, and each one can be a little bit bigger. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, backwards, and we'll start small, get bigger. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I see a grimace over there. 10. All right. So this is kind of strengthening and making flexible the rotator cuffs. A lot of folks, you hear about rotator cuff injuries, so this is a good preventive measure doing these. So now we'll do palms forward. We'll do one more, and then we'll take a break before we do the other versions here. So 2, 3, getting a little bigger. 4, deep breathing. 5, abs can be firm. 6, how's everybody doing? 7, 8, 9, 10. Legs, armpits are shaking. Okay, last one, we'll go backwards 10, and then we'll give the shoulders a break again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, good. So we'll hit the hamstrings. So we're going to do it. Yeah, you can shake it out. You can rub them a little bit. That's fine. I understand. All right. So standing hamstring stretch. We'll do a couple. Hammies get really tight when we sit because they're kind of contracted like that. So we want to stretch them out. They attach to the glutes and the low back. So a lot of people can link their low back pain to tight hamstrings. So what we're going to do is we'll put one leg out straight in front of us, the toe up. You don't have to go real hard. That you'll really feel a pull on the backside, including the calf. But it helps lean back, bend your other leg and lean back, and you can put your hand on the bent leg, use that for a little support, and we'll just hold that for a few seconds there, and then we'll switch legs. So we don't want to do, when we're warming up, do long, hard, static holds. Try to keep it a little more fluid and a little more movement based, and move in and then move out, move in and move out. So we'll do this for a couple more. Okay, we'll go ahead and hit the other one. We'll have a different hamstring stretch again in a little bit as well. This is a good way. It's also a balance challenge a little bit. If it helps to have the arms out to the side, that's fine. There we go. But feel it in the, the backside of the thigh, maybe even in the back of the knee and in the calf as well. And then back to the second side for the second time here. We'll just hold this for a couple, and the more that toe is pointed up, the more aggressive it is. But we don't need to get real aggressive on that. Maybe if you're really warmed up after you've done some exercise or jogging or something like that, then you can be a little more aggressive. Okay, we'll just do a little shoulder warm up. We're going to do shrugs. So we're just going to bring them up to the ears and then down. And we'll do 10 of those. 2, 3. So this is a really good one, when you're puzzling, and just take a couple of seconds and do some of those. 6, 7, 8. Good. You can exhale on the crunch up, breathe in down at the bottom, and then the last one. And 10. Okay. So to really warm up the neck now a little bit more, we'll do like 5 big just nodding yes. So we'll just go up slowly, come down, bring the chin to the chest. We're trying to keep those shoulder blades kind of pulled back, the chest open, so we don't have to crunch forward to actually try to touch the chin to the chest. We're just going up, coming down slowly. You might feel it, pulling in the back of the neck and shoulders over when we go down. May even feel it in the throat when you go up high, looking up. Do 2 more. And whenever you're doing things with the neck, we try to be careful because it's fairly fragile, and when we tweak the neck, it's hard to do almost anything. All right, rotation. So now we're just going to be going side to side, like we're shaking our head no, big and exaggerated and slowly. To feeling creaking, yeah. You don't have to go so far over that it hurts, but maybe as it loosens up, you can go a little farther each time, is the idea, and kind of ease into it. But yeah, you get popping and cracking, bones and ligaments kind of rubbing against each other. Okay, good. And then the last one is tilts. So this one's a little more aggressive. We'll keep looking forward, but we'll go side to side. So we're bringing the ear to the shoulder. A little later, and so of course, you'll feel it on the opposite side. We're contracting the one side, this side is loosening. So we're just rotating. Now this side is contracting, this side is loosening. Muscles have to work in opposition. They can't push, they can only pull. So we usually have muscles on both sides of a joint. So bicep bends the arm, contract the tricep, the arm extends, the bicep has to relax. Same way, hamstrings bend the knee, quads, contract that, straighten the knee, the hamstring has to relax. So all of the abs crunch us over, the low back muscles stand us back up. Obliques on the opposite side are working and relaxing to bend us over. So that's kind of the, very basic anatomy lesson right there. Hamstrings, Frankenstein. So now this one's a little more aggressive. We're going to go straight leg up. Just do what's comfortable height. And then what's nice is if you can touch the opposite hand. That's very nice there. If you can touch the foot to the opposite hand, but we'll try to just at least aim for the other hand. And it gives a little bit of a rotation motion in there as well as just the forward motion. Good. We'll do a couple more here. This will be 8. Good. A lot of you are doing great on this. 9. One more each side. And 10. A little bit of balance challenge there as well. Okay, back to the shoulders. We're going to do corkscrew, and we'll do one palm facing up, one palm facing down, and then we're going to rotate opposite directions. So one's going up, or going forward, the other's going backwards. Little brain challenge there. We're going to go for 30 seconds. I'll give you 5 seconds already here, so 25 on the stopwatch. There you go. And sometimes people like to get their whole body into it. It doesn't matter, but you can. We can also do things like the step tap. Side step, tap that inside leg. See how challenging that is? Yeah. Really fire up that nervous system where everything is working, doing different things at once, working the brain. Okay, there we go. 30 right on the nose. Neck cars. So another neck one we did yesterday. Keep those shoulders back, and we'll start with the chin down, and we do a big circle in the air with our nose and come down, and then we get to the bottom, we stop, and we'll go in the other direction back. And we keep rotating directions when we get to the bottom. If we did them all in the same direction, we'd probably get dizzy and fall over. So good. This is 4. Remember to keep breathing. Think about pulling in those lower ribs. Keep those abs contracted. You like a different way, firm up like you're bracing to get punched in the stomach. So how you would clench your muscles there, that's a good way. You can always try to keep those glutes contracted as well. Abs and glutes really tend to get weak if we don't pay attention to them. And having them strong really helps prevent low back pain because they really make sure the muscles do a lot of the work to support our upper body weight as opposed to the spine having to do the support. So that's the reason why a strong core prevents back pain is take some of the strain off the spine, let the muscles do the work. All right, excellent. Similar one, and one of the last neck things we'll do, chin U-scoop. So it's similar. We just start looking up in one corner, there or somewhere high on one side. Keep the shoulders back so the chin doesn't actually hit the chest. And then we come over and end up looking high on the other side. So the U scoop, we're just making a big kind of long looping U as we go back and forth. And this may hit your neck a little bit different than the neck cars, the circles we've been doing. So we do a couple of different versions. One may feel better than the other, and you can just remember that and just do that one from now on. But I'd like to give you some options there, some things to take home with you. Okay, good. We are going to do one more. This is the Marine Corps chin tuck, cervical retraction. So we normally tech neck, they call it. You know, you're on your phone, you're looking at your computer screen. So we're going to pull the chin straight back, shoulders straight back, chin on a shelf though. We don't want to go down, we don't want to go up. We're pulling it straight back. We're going to hold for 45 seconds. But we're going to breathe. In fact, we're going to just think on good posture. So the chin is retracted there. Perfect. Maybe bring it down just a tad, a little bit on folks. It's hard to really tell unless you're looking in a mirror. It feels, you know, like maybe having to pull it down just a bit. And shoulders back. We'll think about contracting the abs and the glutes. So we're practicing perfect posture. In fact, they call this the posture trainer. We have another about 10 seconds to go here. We're all standing at attention. We hope the Marine recruiter doesn't wander by, or we're all going to Camp Pendleton here for 4 years. All right, 3, 2, 1. All right. I talked to a guy out of state, and he said, I lived in San Diego for about 15 weeks. And I said, you must have been in Marine training. He goes, yeah, they didn't treat me very well. I go, yeah, the Marines aren't known for that in basic training. All right, now shoulder rolls. So we're going to kind of work our way down. So we'll go forward like 10 rolls. Any direction can be forward. We'll just roll 10 in one direction. And then we'll reverse it, of course. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, and then backwards. This is a great one when you're puzzling, doing a long session. If you're speed puzzling, I don't expect you to stop and do these, but maybe try to do them afterwards, and it will help you feel better the next day or two. Take some of the soreness out if we do it right away. Even doing these beforehand is a great way to do it, and then do them again afterwards, and you'll be in much better shape. Okay, this side arm raises. So we're just going to, this works the outside of the shoulders there. So we're just going to come up. We'll just do 10 of these. You can go up as high as is comfortable. For folks, once they get above horizontal, it may, especially as we get older, starts hurting. Can you go all the way palms to the top together? And another thing is try to see if you can go straight up and not kind of cave forward and do it. So, but not if it hurts. Just go as high as is comfortable. But eventually, after the first few, going up like that is really good. And that we'll do one more here. That's going to take us to, we're going to do chest expansion. So what we'll do is we'll start with the arms forward, and then we're going to take in a big breath and open up that chest. Just hold it for a second, and then let the air out as we put those arms together. We'll take 10 big breaths. Just don't get dizzy. And then, actually, let's try it through the nose. And then out through the nose. 3. This is kind of a shoulder thing too, sorry. Yeah, knowing nods over here, yes, good. 6. This is a great way doing arm exercises like this. Strengthen those shoulders without heavy weights. You know, we don't really need those shoulders to be really, muscular, and so we can lift heavy things with them. We want them to be mobile, and so we can reach and grab stuff out of the cupboard and off the top shelf without pain. Use it or lose it. Okay, now we're going to give a little stretch here. So we'll just bring it across. You can rest the arm on the shoulder if you want, and then grab behind the elbow and just pull. Good. So we're kind of stretching out those shoulder blades in the back. We'll just do 30 seconds on each side. Give you 5, we already started there. And just think about breathing and kind of relaxing. I know some of you puzzled for quite a while yesterday. There was 5 hours for folks that were in the pairs preliminary and the final, team final. So that's pretty long session. It's not like the 5.5-hour team final a year and a half ago, but it's still a significant amount of time. Okay, other arm. Got the stopwatch going here, good. You don't want to pull into pain, but maybe as you go 10 seconds in or halfway through, if it's starting to get looser, you can give a little more push on that shoulder there. There we go. Good. Go a little bit more here. Let's see where we are. We have 10 to go. And then we're going to hit another shoulder stretch. It won't be working the shoulders hard though. 29 and 30. Okay. This side's a little tight for me, so actually what you want to do is start on the opposite side. If on any of these one side is tighter than the other, there's a neurological principle to that, but we start warming up the opposite side first, and there's a little carryover to the other side. Decussation is the technical term, and I heard him I read it, and then I talked to a couple of doctors, and they're like, it's a thing. So since this is sore, we're going to start over here for me. Arm, shoulder down, shoulder down, arm behind the back, and then take the head and then just pull it away. So we're getting that ear as far away from that shoulder as possible. We're stretching this the lats here, the trapezius. And we'll just hold that. We're just relaxing. We don't want to pull so hard as it hurts the neck, but since we already did our head tilt side to side, this should be a little warmed up. So just think about breathing and relaxing, especially on the exhale. That's the best part. That's the rest and relaxation part of our breath. Rest and digest, they call it as well on the exhale. Inhale is more of the energizing fight or flight. Okay, we'll switch, we'll do the other side. And shoulder down, pulling the head away, just relaxing. Yeah, whenever one side hurts, we always attack that side first, but we really want to warm up the nervous system by starting with the unpainful side and then work our way over the more painful side. Okay, a little bit more. We're breathing, especially on the exhale. Rest, and that's 30 right there. Excellent. Okay, we did the chest expansions. We're going to do chest stretch. We're going to clasp the hands, palms together behind the back, straighten the arms, and then the key is we're going to try to lift the arms up without caving us forward. So try to keep that head and chest up and even keep that chin tucked if we can instead of doing this. This is what we want to do. So this really gets that stretch in through the chest, the pecs, especially into the pec minor, the front of the shoulder, the front deltoid, delta. We have 3 of them, front, lateral, rear deltoid. So stretching that for a little bit more and then start the timer. So we'll go for 10 more seconds here. This is a really good one after puzzling, like I said. When we're leaning forward, this contracts in. It also, tightens the back by doing that. Okay, that's good there. Overhead lat stretch. So now we're going to hit these muscles below the shoulder blade, kind of on the sides. And we're going to go over and we'll put the hip out. We don't have to get real aggressive here on this first one. We can do a little pulsing, not hard bounce to really get as far over there, but a little bit of pulse, maybe a little bit farther each time. You can breathe in and then exhale on the pulse. Do about 5 on each side, and then let's switch arms. If that arm is painful to hold it up over your head, you can bring it down in, and then just kind of a little exhale, push that hip out to the side. Of course, we're stretching out through the ribs, side of the hip here, down the outside of the thigh, even, depending on how tight we are. Okay, 5 of those. Let's go ahead and go back over. We're going to do a couple on each side. 1, 2, 5. Okay, and then we'll switch back. And hopefully it feels a little better each time. Do this. 2, 3. Good. 4, 5. All right. Get in anybody late. We're almost at 8, but we're doing good here. So this one's a little bit, it's similar, a little more of a stretch, so palms facing in, and then we're going to put them up to the sky. And now we're going to do full side bend. So that other one was a little precursor to doing this. You can do a couple of little pulses here as well. And then we try, instead of caving forward like this, see if we can go laterally. That's a little harder if we, we work our way back if possible, but if, the body is really tight and needs to go forward, we'll start there. And, flexibility and mobility is a process. It's wherever we can start pain-free at first and keep working there, and then the body will let us go a little bit farther and a little bit further. Okay, let's do, standing quadricep stretch. So this will take a little balance unless you want to grab a table or one of these poles here, or grab the ankle, and go ahead, don't feel embarrassed. So if it's really tight, you may have to have that knee sticking forward a little bit. As we get looser, or if you have quite a bit of flexibility in the quads, we can bring that knee back farther. That's going to get more aggressive. And quads really get tight, pull into the hip flexors, so we'll stretch those next. Okay, we'll go there on that one. We're going to come around to the other side, and maybe you'll notice your balance is better on one side than the other side too. And we'll here a little bit. Maybe you start with the knee forward, and you feel it start to loosen up, and you can pull the knee back a little bit more. We don't want to pull into pain, though. Then the body starts tensing up, and we're just, tearing tissue, and we don't want to do that. All right, good. Similar to, I had a little quick yoga lesson the other day, and the lady had me doing the tree pose, and I don't remember what everything else was. I think we ended up doing stuff like that, but I'm not positive. I haven't taken much of any yoga, but that was kind of similar, standing on one leg. Okay, hip flexors. So quads go up into the hip flexor. Hip flexors flex the hip. That's coming up here. So when we're sitting, they get tight in together. So what we want to do is open them up as much as possible. So we're going to put one leg back, have that back leg straight if we're on, can be on the toe. This one in front for support, and then we're going to keep the upper body upright, but kind of tuck those hips under or forward a little bit without arching the back. And yeah, you're going to feel it right there, exactly. And then if you want to get a little more, the hip or the arm on that side will be raised, and that adds tension to that whole side. So that may get a little more aggressive there. If you need to hold on to something on this one, that's fine. Usually do it sitting, or kneeling, half kneeling they call it, where you can really get into it, and you'll also feel it in the thigh there as well, but tucking those hips under. We're going a couple more. Here, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we'll switch sides. So this is a big one. If you have low back pain, doctors usually always talk about doing the hip flexor stretch. We'll go 30 seconds here. I'll stop watching this. A lot of you are just guessing. All right. Good. So keeping that back pretty straight, but tucking the hips under, so we don't want to arch that low back. Try to prevent that. Good. We have 10 seconds more. Hang in there, breathing if we can. In through the nose, out through the nose. We have just like one more to go. We're a couple minutes past 8. I don't want anybody to miss their Paris final here coming up at 9. Okay, forward fold, and we want to be careful. This is just a little bit of a low back stretch. So we worked on it yesterday, and you don't have to go over very far, but this is one where we do round the back. Normally we don't round it very much. We can use the hands for support. Doing it in a chair is great, and if you're puzzling, just push yourself back from the chair and do it a little bit. But we can do it standing, hands on the knees. Helps, and don't go any lower than feels comfortable. If we go too low, you may not feel it at the time, but you may feel it a little bit later as well. So, and you can even kind of like exhale and go down maybe a little bit. Do a little bit of pulsing, but don't like just push. If you can touch your toes, that's great. But if you can't, we don't want to force it if the body isn't going to let us have it. All right. And that is pretty much time there, and we're at 8:04. So great job, everyone. Thank you for coming and attending, letting me be of service this morning. So as I tell everyone, you know, like, what was that thing we were doing for the neck? You know, feel to reach out to me on, my email should be out there, social media, I know they're linked to me. Silverstrong, info@silverstrong.fitness.